Scratches this year. Iditarod rookie Brenda Mackey technically scratched last week, the first of more than a half dozen so far this race. But as Quinn White reports, there's been conflicting information on what exactly happened.
Winning each of these races,
I literally thought she was dying in front of me.
Iditarod officials originally reported musher Brenda Mackey scratched in Tanana with 14 healthy dogs in harness. But Mackey and now the Iditarod say that's not accurate. One of those dogs was in her sled and not healthy.
And I needed some help.
Mackey says she pushed the emergency button after one of her dogs, Jet, collapsed on the way to Ruby.
In all my racing years, it's not something I've ever even looked at, and I pushed it. I pushed it like 5 times.
But officials didn't come. She decided to turn around and head back to Tanana.
By the time I get back, her eyes look normal. She was able to stand, and I don't think it was really taken very seriously because she did look good when she got back to the checkpoint.
Mackey assumed her team's Iditarod run was over after using her emergency button.
I didn't even consider myself scratched. I thought I was disqualified for pushing my button on my tracker when I was trying to get help for my dog out on the trail, and so I just assumed when I came back to the checkpoint that I had been disqualified.
Mackey says she thought she was signing forms saying she was disqualified for using her emergency button, but instead she says it was a form to scratch.
I mentioned I had pushed my button, and he said, well, we hadn't received any signal of that.
The Iditarod Trail Committee says that's because she didn't activate it correctly.
You know, I had this awful thing happen to my dog, and there was that, but then the aftermath of kind of the strange things like that afterwards kind of, you know, they do bother a person a little bit, yeah.
Mackey ultimately made the decision to fly Jet to Anchorage for further veterinary care. She says the dog's lab work shows abnormalities, and she's waiting for more test results. Quinn White, Alaska's news source.
The ITC sent out a prepared statement last week about Mackey's departure, but didn't respond to a request for an interview.